Welcome back, subject to investors. I promised you in the last video that I was going to go into a few more exit strategies for those of us with no money and no credit, and we really want to make this profitable as fast as we can. Number one, let me tell you, nothing I'm going to tell you in this video is going to include you holding the property. Holding property costs money. I don't care what anybody tells you. If you have no money and no credit, holding property is something that you will do. You just will do that later on in your investing plan. Think about it. If you're trying to be a landlord and something breaks and you don't have any money or a credit card to go fix it, then what happens? You are responsible for the families who you're providing housing to. We're doing the right thing in this niche. Remember, we're all about credibility and character. So I would not recommend you hold property unless you have some reserves or some means to really take care of the property or the families that you're providing to. Okay, with that warning out of the way, let's talk about things that I think you should do or could do. One thing that you could do is sell it with a lease option to another investor. So you'll get the lease option paperwork all written up. You guys are going to see a really cool video from Bria later on, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about how to do that. But get everything written up as a lease option, and then you sell your interest in that contract to another investor. Now, this is kind of like wholesaling. It's just kind of a misnomer because wholesaling means you get the property at a wholesale price. And again, in this niche, we're not going for wholesale prices. We are offering retail price in most cases, sometimes more. Okay, so a lease option. Now you can also sell it to an iBuyer. And that is another case study we'll get into later. Your iBuyers are like opendoor.com or Redfin, the commercials that you see on TV. Well, once you have that property in your name and it's deeded to you, you can sell it to whoever you want to. So sell it to one of the iBuyers. They typically have, money. They are going to be upfront with their closing costs and all of that. And they can make you an offer quickly and you can sell it quickly. So that would be one of my recommendations. And as you're doing that, when you're buying the house subject to, if you know your exit strategy is going to be just flipping it over to an iBuyer, selling it really quickly to an iBuyer, as soon as I get that property under contract, if I were you, I'd be contacting the iBuyer right then and there. Even if you don't really have all the paperwork, together, what's the worst that could happen? The deal falls through and you say, hey, iBuyer, sorry, I can't do it, right? But we're not going to stop our momentum, and we're definitely not going to stop trying to get our houses sold based on a bunch of what ifs. Okay, I digress. Another thing that you can do, and this will be the last one that I'm going to recommend for you, is you can just sell your subject to contract. Yes, it's that easy. Yes, that easy. Your friend who you sent your 30-second video to says, hey, I really do want you to come take over my mortgage payment. You can get the paperwork written up. I'll get to this in a minute. Stick with me, y'all. Stick with me, because I know some of you guys are thinking like, but wait, they want to have me take over, not someone else. We'll talk about that, okay? Just let me finish this thought. All right. So yes, you can go ahead and have them write up all the paperwork, get ready to close, everything like you were going to close it yourself. And then you can sell that contract or sell your interest in that contract to another investor like myself. Now, I say like myself, not because I'm selfish, like bring me all the deals. But when I say like myself, like an investor that you actually know, like an investor who is public like me. Like if I do the wrong thing, everyone's going to know because I have licenses and certifications and all of that, right? That's really on the line. Whereas if it's just Joe Schmo that's like, yeah, give me your mortgage takeover contract, I want it. Like you need to kind of vet him, right? Because whoever you are, whoever's mortgage you're taking over, they are trusting you. It is based on your rapport, and you want to make sure you're putting them into good hands. A better idea would be if you already know your exit strategy is going to be to just sell your interest in that contract to another investor, get that other investor involved early. Vet that investor, because there are a lot of sharks out here who will try to come in and steal your deal, right? But if it's a reputable investor, someone who's public or, someone like me, get us in early. That way we can build rapport with that seller with you. And that way it's based on our rapport with the seller and not yours. And that way, let's say if something does go wrong, let's say we have another pandemic and one of the investors can't pay or something like that. Well, now they're not looking at you like, well, you told me that this investor was going to do the right thing. No, now it's kind of like you're really kind of hands off. Like, no, I introduced you to so-and-so and, it was a referral situation. So that's one way, in my opinion, to kind of have a little, your hands off a little bit with it. But anyway, We just reviewed the 3 ways I would recommend that you exit if you are not going to exit with owner financing. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. We're going to continue our series on marketing on the buy and sell side.